morning. It looks like we've got a great group. I am recording this, so just FYI, I wanted you to know that. Karen Onen with the East Central Regional Transportation Coordinating Council, and welcome. Tim, as we have to do, I don't know, maybe we just stop doing that, but I kind of like it. I want Tim to do the formal getting the meeting started.
Anything you want, Karen. But for today's meeting, let's call the meeting to order at 9:03 a.m.
Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to ask you all if you wouldn't mind putting your contact information in the chat, because I will be posting that onto the website. So if anybody wants to reach out to you, they'll be able to find your email, phone number, whatever you would like, and possibly also, your title and where you work would be great. So that's number one. It's so time consuming for us all to introduce ourselves, but again, we've got more people here that may not know one another. So I think it is rather important that possibly, that we do a little round robin here. So if you could just give your name, your title, hello, and I'm not going to do a question, about the weather or anything like that, but I will call on you and we'll just do a quick little introduction, okay? So Michelle, I'm going to start with you because you're in my top left corner.
Good morning, Michelle Thomas with the East Central Regional Development Commission. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Michelle. Sandra.
I am Sandra Wheelacore with Arrowhead Transit. I'm the Assistant Director of Operations.
Thanks, Sandra. Bob.
Welcome, everybody. Bob Voss here from the East Central Regional Development Commission. I'm the Executive Director there, so welcome.
He's our boss, Bob Voss. Yeah. Yep. Tim.
I like that. Boss.
Yeah.
I'm Schmutzer. I work with Phase Industries in East Central and Southwest Minnesota. We support students and adults with disabilities in employment, day support services, and transportation.
Excellent. Thank you, Tim. Denise, hi. Morning.
Good morning. Denise Stewart from Lakes and Pines Community Action Council here in Mora.
Thanks, Denise. Natalie, hi.
Hello, Natalie Mathewson, Community Development Supervisor with Central Minnesota Council on Aging.
Thanks for being here, Natalie. Good to see you. Hi, Jessica.
Good morning, Lighthouse Child and Family Services. I'm Jessica Peterson, and I'm the Day Treatment Program Coordinator.
Thank you, Jessica. Angela. I know Angela's driving.
Angela Damagala. I'm a driver and I work as a dispatcher for Attaboy's Transport out of Sandstone, Minnesota.
Thank you, Angela. Davin, welcome back, Dad.
Thank you, Karen. Davin Simmons with MnDOT, Planner of Office and Transit and Active Transportation.
Thanks, Davin. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
Hi, Tina.
Good morning, Tina Neary with MnDOT. I'm a transit project manager out of the Office of Transit and Active Transportation.
Welcome, Tina. Thank you for being here. Melissa, you popped on and popped off. Are you back? There you are. Oh.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. Melissa Maringo, Operations Manager at MTM.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thanks.
Let's see here. Everybody popped around now. Amanda.
Good morning. My name is Amanda Stevenson. I am the planner for the Region 7E Adult Mental Health Initiative.
Welcome. Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you.
Okay, I've got Fireflies. I got Read AI. Mark Schermerhorn.
Good morning, everybody. Mark Schermerhorn in Oka County Transit.
Thanks, Mark. Okay, now everything moved again. Ted. Hi, Ted.
Morning, Ted Nelson with MnDOT Office Transit Active Transit up in Northwest Minnesota.
Thank you, Ted. Good to see you. All right, let's see where we got. Rhonda. Hey, Rhonda.
Good morning. I don't have a video today, but Rhonda Torgerson, TriCap Transportation. I'm the Fleet Operations Manager.
Excellent. Thank you, Rhonda, for being here. Ann.
Good morning, Ann Lynch, MnDOT Office of Government Affairs.
Thanks for being here, Ann. Thank you. Hi, Emily.
There we go. Hi, good morning, all. Emily Carpenter. I'm a Community Partnerships Manager with mHealth Fairview and connected to our two North Metro hospitals. So that's Northland Medical Center in Princeton and Lakes Medical Center in Wyoming. Good to be with you all this morning.
Great. Thank you, Emily. Hi, Kurt. How are you? Oh, I think he might be on the phone. Okay, I will come back to you, okay? All right. Farah. Hi, Farah.
Good morning. Sorry, I don't have a camera yet. I'm supposed to be getting a computer after the first of the year, so hopefully I'll have one soon. Adult Health Supervisor with Kennebec County.
Great. Thank you for being here, Farah. Tom.
It's Thomas Zimmerman from Region 5 Development Commission. I'm Mobility Manager.
Thank you, Thomas. Hi, Beverly.
Hi.
We're just doing quick introductions. Your picture looks like you're actually right there.
Yeah. So Beverly Stowe Tolliver, Arrowhead Regional Development Commission, and Arrowhead RTCC.
Thank you. All right, Kurt, you're back on now.
Good morning. My name is Kurt, and I'm with the Mille Lacs Band of Ojibwe Health and Human Services and the Transportation Department here.
Thanks for coming, Kurt.
Thank you.
Hi, Michael.
Good morning, Michael Gardner, University of Minnesota Extension.
Nice to see you. I think we've got everybody. Did I miss anyone?
Ann Walter, Anoka County Transit.
Oh, heck
Sorry,
yeah, there
Ann.
you
Hi.
are. Hi, Ann. Thank you. All right. We're good? Okay. Well, Michelle, if you would keep an eye on when Greg comes, we'll just want to make sure that we're a little ahead of schedule. I mean, you guys really cruised through all that. That was awesome. So I would like to move on and do a little bit of updates from MnDOT and until Greg gets here. So let's see, Tina, would you like to give us a little update on what's happening with MnDOT?
Yeah, there's just a couple things. One item, and Ted can jump in here too, but one thing we're looking at is we're on some collaboration with the transit systems and the tribes. So we'll be looking more into that and how, maybe our regional meetings or other opportunities. And then we just were informed by Department of Administration that we will need to conduct performance evaluations on all subrecipients. Basically, it's kind of the fallout from the Feeding for the Future and now the autism centers and Department of Education fraud that has come up. And so that'll be starting. We're going to be finding more about it. Like I said, we're just notified about it. But that will be going back on the 2024 contracts.
Okay. Will that be including doing some more back search on what's going on with all of the RTCCs and such, or?
I don't know. We just found out. So we've requested some more clarification on all of it. So, yeah.
Okay. Good to know, Tina. Thank you.
I don't think you need to worry, Karen. If you didn't have any unauthorized expenditures, you're okay.
Okay. I think we're okay.
Yeah.
We would really love to be involved with more of what you have going on with the band and, working with Kurt. And if there's something that we can do, of course, we want to be involved in that. So just keep us in mind.
Yep, that'd be great.
Thank you. Devin, would you have any kind of updates for us?
The only updates I have is other than what Tina just shared with us. So there's a couple positions I'll be posting in the chat. No new updates other than that.
Okay. Yeah, those positions look really interesting, and take a look at those. And if you know anybody who might be interested, I think they sound like great opportunities. And you know, if I was 20 years younger, I might look at that, but I'm too old to be looking at something new. Let's see, who else maybe would like to do an update? I don't know, would any, like, Tom, would you have anything you want to mention, or Anne or Mark?
Not anything for me.
Okay. All right. Mark?
Sure, I can say. I'll brag up. We were participated in your focus group, Karen. That was a interesting event, and nice to have a conversation with folks and learning stuff about TRICAP. And I'm sorry, I don't remember the cab provider that was there, but anyway, it was a nice conversation. We are also meeting with job training staff today to kind of go over some transit information, as well as the Anoka area chamber. And then a micro service has kicked off in the Roseville area that kind of overlaps with our TransitLink service that we manage for Northwest Ramsey County. And then lastly, our software implementation for our volunteer program is continuing, and we're meeting with the vendor and working on the data transfer. So a few things going on that are fun.
Excellent. Yeah, good, great, thank you. Okay, well, let's continue on with the agenda. Let's see here. Elliot's not here that I can see. So we'll move into our service provider discussions and updates, if you don't mind. I haven't seen Helen on here. She said she had an update. Maybe she's just running a little late.
Hey, Karen.
Yeah.
Karen, I just wanted to actually give like a kind of, I guess, a provider update.
Yeah, for
This
sure,
is
for sure.
This is Melissa from MTM. So I'm not sure if everyone knows that United Healthcare left the state Monday, or not Monday, on the 1st. They left the Minnesota market, so they're not providing Medicaid services anymore in Minnesota. So that didn't affect our operations huge, very, very much. I'm about to say a word that doesn't exist, but so we are still looking for providers in northern Minnesota, nothing for the metro, but if anyone knows of any providers that serve northern Minnesota, like Aitkin, Carlton, Cook, St. Louis, we're looking up for providers in that area still. So it's just been a struggle, but just want to put that out there. If you know anyone, please give them my information.
Okay. Let's see. Angela is in Sandstone area, and I do believe they part of your network, Melissa?
For Attaboys?
Yeah.
No, they're actually not. We tried to contract with them about a year ago, but I think they had a lot going on, and we do have a lot of credential requirements. So I was actually going to reach back out to Attaboys. I spoke with Kelly before to see if maybe they're in a better position that we could work towards.
We talked about it a little bit.
You did, Angela? Okay, because I have another proposal too that might make the credentialing less cumbersome. So should I reach out to you, Angela?
I know she's driving.
Yeah, yeah, Melissa, she's on the road. So
okay.
Kelly is probably either Kelly or Angela you could start with.
All right. Yeah, I'll reach back out to them. But yeah, so that's just the MTM update.
Thank you. And I just
Thanks.
noticed there was a message in the chat from Natalie. You might want to take a look at that as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And maybe Angela will be able to pop back in a minute. But like I mentioned, okay, my brain just went all wonky right now. When Greg Mathis came on, we wanted to give him the floor or the screen. So let's let him in and have him talk to us. And Greg, would you just do a little intro for everybody, and then we'll let you go for it.
Sure thing, Harry. Let me try and share my screen here.
Oh, I wonder if I have to let you do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry, I got bumped out. I'm back.
we're gonna let Greg, just have the floor for a minute here, or for a little bit of time for his presentation, because I know he doesn't have a lot of time. So, help, I can't find him on here now. I need to give him opportunity to be. Oh, there you are. Okay. I'll make you co-host.
Okay.
And then you should be able to share your screen. Okay. Maybe I need to, there.
Is that sure? Okay, cool, great.
Can everybody see that, or is it just me?
No, we can all see.
Excellent.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for allowing me to meet with you today. My name is Greg Mathis, and I'm the Director of Passenger Rail Operations at MnDOT. And I think we met back in I think it was May or June of last year to talk about the proposed passenger rail service between Minneapolis and Duluth Superior. So here today to give you a few updates on that and a couple of projects that we're working on that may relate to some of what you're doing. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. First thing I want to talk about briefly is the state rail plan. MnDOT's currently in the process of updating the state rail plan, and that's a plan for both freight and passenger rail, and it will include a vision, goals, and priorities for both systems. And that's important because it will guide MnDOT's future passenger rail planning efforts. And so, we want to work towards a big picture. And so, that's going to guide what we're doing. And we'll also talk about how rail will align with other modes in the state. So we expect the draft plan to be released for public comment later this year. I think it's going to be probably around the end of later this winter. And if you want to learn more or provide comments, we actually have a website set up that you can go to, and it's at talk.dot.us/state-rail-plan, and I can also dump that into a chat once I get done with my presentation, so you don't have to memorize it. Otherwise, you can just type in Minnesota State Rail Plan. It'll take you to our main page, and you'll see a link that says to learn more and get involved. Then it'll take you to the engagement page. So, that's kind of what will be guiding us over the next number of years. And then let's kind of shift gear and talk about a couple of corridors we're looking at. First one I want to talk about is a study that we're doing that's requested by the legislature to look at the Twin Cities Fargo-Moorhead corridor with connections beyond. And so this is something that the legislature asked us to do back in 23. And so it's asking us to look at several things. One is to evaluate options for developing rail, transit and rail service improvements on the full corridor, including connections beyond. Legislation also says that corridor needs to go through, look at the corridor through Coon Rapids and St. Cloud. And so you can see the study area. Sorry. I just realized I didn't advance my slide. Sorry.
There you go. Thanks.
There you go. Sorry about that. You can see the graphic shows the study area that we're looking at, and as you can see, it includes portions of Mille Lacs and the Sandy counties. So probably about a 25-mile buffer from the corridor is kind of a good area that we're looking at. So we need, for the legislation, we need to look at both bus and rail. So we're looking at what options for intercity bus as well as commuter and intercity passenger on this corridor. We've also been asked to look at some of the fiscal impacts of potential changes in North Star service, as well as potential jurisdictional responsibilities based on some of the alternatives that are being looked at in the report. The report's due to the legislature on February 1st, so we're rapidly scurrying to get that thing finalized and out to the legislature here in a couple weeks. And so once that is out, we'll publish that on our website. And if you want to take a look, we encourage you to do that. Or if we want us to come back and talk a little bit more about that, we can. So with that, we can go ahead and be talking about Minneapolis to Superior corridor, which we talked about last year. And I think when we met last year, we talked a little bit about the project. A lot of work was done and wrapped up in 2017, and it had been on pause for a number of years, and then got accepted into FRA's new planning program, known as Court ID, at the end of 23. And I think when we spoke last year, we had gotten the grant obligated for kind of doing the initial step and getting a project management plan done. So over the summer, we completed a gap analysis of our previous service development plan, and that was something that FRA requires. And so we had to work with them on that to look at, what needs to be revised to reflect current conditions, or what needs to be changed or added to meet some new FRA requirements for our service development planning. So we worked with them through the summer to get that done. And then over the fall, we prepared a scope, schedule, and budget for actually updating that service development plan. And we did get that to submit to FRA, a draft of that to FRA here last month. And so here over the winter, we'll be working with FRA to finalize that. Sounds like they tend to have, they've been doing, I think there's like 69 corridors nationally. So I think that we've heard that they tend to have a few comments on these things. So there'll probably be a little bit back and forth to get that finalized. And so once that is, then they would obligate a grant to actually make those revisions to the service development plan. So we expect that to happen here later this spring. And then the next step would be to begin contracting and begin working on that service development plan. So because we have the proposal into FRA right now, I can't say what the exact schedule is because they need to weigh in on that. So, but we looked at probably more on that here probably in the next couple months. So that's the updates on NLX. But one other thing I did want to talk about briefly, because I also often get a lot of questions about why you're working on these passenger rail projects. And so I just want to give you a little bit of insight on what we're seeing with the Borealis, which is our new state-supported passenger train between the Twin Cities, Milwaukee, and Chicago, with a number of stops at smaller communities in between. Operates on the same route as the Amtrak's Empire Builder, which is a long-distance train from Chicago out to Seattle and Portland. And so the new service started on May 21st, and we carried our 100,000th passenger on October 18th, which is just under 5 months. And that, that was great to see and pretty remarkable because our forecast, last round of forecasts were about 125 to 135,000 riders annually. I think right now we're already over 150 since the start of service. So we've already, exceeded our forecast for the year. So, strong demand for this service. I do want to talk about a couple things. One is the Empire Builder ridership also grew year over year last year. So I think more people are just taking the train, which I think is one of the key takeaways here. As you look at the numbers, you'll see it dipped a little bit into September. And that's because think about when you travel, ridership varies throughout the year. Peaks are really summer and the holidays. And, we started right at the start of the peak travel season. And so that's why you saw that ridership grow. We expected it to taper off in the fall, kind of a low period, as all the kids go back to school. And then kind of low period tends to be January, February, and everybody's, not traveling much, and then picks up around spring break. So, but I think as you can see here, ridership did remain pretty strong throughout the fall. So we're pretty pleasantly surprised to see how strong that was. I think October was maybe a couple hundred riders less than July. So pretty great to see. So we're looking to see what January, February looks like. But I think, again, there is a demand for these services to provide connections to these rural, not just the big cities, but all of the rural communities in between. So with that, that's the end of my presentation. I'll open up to any questions.
I just wanted to make a comment about, the fact that trains are something that haven't been really utilized in the United States. And as we all know, they're very prevalent in Europe and it's second nature in Europe. And I would hope that at some point when people start riding them, they'll realize how wonderful they are and start using them more. It's just something new and different that we all get used to and that they get put everywhere. I just think they're so awesome. I'm so excited for the prospect. And the map that you had up about with going to Fargo Moorhead, I couldn't see the counties. I don't think it's going to really affect the East Central area that much, but the fact that it goes to St. Cloud, is one of our big issues is we can't get there. And, this is just another option if we have the transfer stations and the infrastructure in place for public service providers to be able to get people to those stations. It's all going to be really, really, really nice.
That's one of those things that we're looking at having the rail plan touch on a little bit about kind of, what's the vision? Is it, few trains, a lot of trains, few trains or trains on key corridors and hearing a little bit more about those connections. So, as that track plan comes out, please, feel free to submit your comments.
Thank you.
How much do you take into consideration, or is there research into once people get to a destination, how much and what kind of other transportation there is at that destination? Because, for example, when they go from Minneapolis to Duluth, they have public bus, they have Uber, they have all those e-bikes and those kinds of things. So people really can get around once they get off the train.
Yeah.
But if you get to Hinckley, it's a different story, right? Sorry, I didn't mean to
That's what I mean. It makes it trickier.
Sure. So, in terms of the Minneapolis Duluth service, as we get a little bit further along with that project, that's where we'd start having more of those connections with some of the local transit providers to work out some of those details.
Okay. Wow.
And the other thing I should probably mention is, and I'm not sure I can't remember if anybody from OTAT was speaking today, but they're also working on some of their plans. So the goal is to have all these systems work together.
Yeah. And we want to stay up to date with you and help wherever we can with any connecting of people and organizations. So, yeah, use us.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Greg. So happy to have you on today.
Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah, we have a good group of folks here too. So a lot of information was shared to a lot of people. Thank you.
Excellent.
Would you be able to email us your presentation and we can share it with whoever wants it?
Yeah, I can send it out to Karen to distribute.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Awesome. That was great. Well, let's move on then. Let's see. We're right on time. Look at that. So it's 9:30. Woohoo! All right. So I saw Helen popped on. Is Helen still here? Yes, there she is. Hi, Helen.
Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, right?
Yes. Do you want to do a little intro?
I'm Helen Piper. I'm the transit director here at Kanabec County Timber Trails for a couple more months. That's probably the biggest news that I have that we're sharing with everybody. We're moving forward with our succession planning, getting ready, closing out 2023 or 2024 rather, like everybody else. I was just looking at some ridership numbers. Looks like we're going to be down a little bit, not much, but it's there's shifting ridership here in Kanabec County, where we used to have more seniors. We now have more adults riding and more folks with disabilities. So it's a changing landscape and we're going to have to see. The bad news that I have to share with everyone is that we did not receive the offer of sufficient enough funding to keep Beyond Timber Trails going. So that ended as of December 31st. We had, over the course of the year that we ran, we had about 5 people right off the top of my head who used it consistently for a time. One gentleman used it during a transition period. A couple more gals used it pretty regularly because of their position of being just outside our bus routes. But unfortunately, there wasn't an offer of enough funding to keep it going. So Beyond Timber Trails did not survive to go beyond. Other than that, we're doing well. We're loving not having a whole lot of snow. That makes our job a lot easier. But it does make me kind of sad when I look around at some of the lakes and see some of the lake levels and wonder what's going to happen next spring when we start to warm up and see what kind of fire danger we have, keeping in mind what's happening in California right now. So that's the update from Timber Trails, unless anybody had any questions.
Well, thank you, Helen. I'm sorry about Beyond Timber Trails.
I am too. It was a cool name. I mean, it was a really cool name and a good service. And maybe if there had been some more time, but we've got a demographics problem. They're just the 1.4, less than 2 people per square mile in that northern area. The people who are there need it, but there's not enough people there to support it, unfortunately.
Helen, this is Tim. I just want to say congratulations on your upcoming retirement. Well deserved, but sad for us. When you say a couple months, do you really mean 2 months or maybe 10 months or 40 months or
my retirement?
Yeah.
My last day will be March 31st.
Oh, wow. So you'll be at one more of our meetings here.
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kathy Bursky is so we knew with our system size we didn't need a full-time transit director and a full-time operations supervisor. Although even though we only have 6 buses, we still have to do all the same things that an Arrowhead or any other big system, any other system has to do. And so we looked at it really hard and we were like, all right, let's Kathy Bursky was very involved in transit when it came into Kanabec County, and she looked at it and thought, well, maybe I can squeeze in some of these things. So Kathy will be the transit director moving forward. And then the operations supervisor is going to pick up some more of the duties, some of the training in the drug and alcohol and procurement. And so we've really taken my position and split it between a couple of folks. And there's going to be some growing pains, no doubt about it. But I am so grateful for the 2 people that are stepping up because I think that you're going to see healthy continuity in what Timber Trails offers.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome. I will miss you guys. There are things I will not miss, procurement being at the top of the list, but I will miss so many good people that I've had the privilege of working with.
We'll miss you a lot. But I'm staying in touch with you, Helen, so.
I'm glad to hear that.
Whether you want
Besides, she's got a spring on our property up there. If everything goes to, you know where I'm going to be.
I got a cat here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go ahead and move on to the agenda. I think you can see that again. Can you see that again? I think I put it back up. Okay. I have TRICAP volunteer driver program on next, but I know that Tammy couldn't make it today. But we have, Rhonda, would you like to give us an update?
Sure. On public transit, unfortunately, I can't do that for volunteer. But our public bus, we just finally received our 2021 buses from Hoagland's, and we're getting those all checked in. They had accidentally ordered them incorrectly and didn't have the sensors on them, so they had to reorder 2 new buses. So we finally got those in. And then we get 100
Rhonda, you're cutting out. Shoot.
today, and I'm not sure what the heck it is.
Okay, well, you're back.
Am I back? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, there's something going on with my computer today. So anyways, I'm not sure where the last thing you heard, but we also received a class 400 on our 2024 contract. So we're in the process of getting that ordered. We're hitting our marketing really hard, just all different avenues, whether it's paid or free. We have an admin assistant, so we're really, making sure we're on all the city websites and every healthcare facility and so on and so forth. Our ridership has increased. I think that I was hearing 4,000 rides last year. So that's good news and very exciting. Definitely our, like Helen was saying, the demographics are changing. Like you can see the shift. Like for us, Mille Lacs County is actually down a little bit in ridership, but other areas has increased. So, yeah, so there's that. I don't think Barb's on today. She didn't have, let me see here real quick. Thought she maybe had one update here. No, she didn't have anything else to update. So that's really the gist of what's going on with us. Not too much.
Okay.
Thankful for no snow.
Yeah, it seems to kind of be the thing. All I could say is my car is so dusty and dirty. I wish we had snow to keep the dust down a little bit. Well, thank you, Rhonda. Appreciate the update. Does anybody have any questions at this point? All right, we'll move on then. Let's talk with Sandra. Sandra, what's going on?
Good morning, everyone. Well, Arrowhead is just, we're just scooting along, keeping the rubber on the road. It's kind of hard sometimes. We're just struggling to hire mechanics. So if any of you know any mechanics, we need for one more down in Cambridge, and I believe we're going to start looking for one more up in our Gilbert facility. So get them to apply. We're working on our restructure down in Chisago and Isanti counties. We are in the deep diving exploration phase. So basically, we're building maps to see exactly where we're going, where our customers are, and put those all together to see if we can make it more efficient. For those of you who have been in my TAC meetings down there, you're aware that this is coming. We are having a meeting in Cambridge on January 30th, where we will be giving a presentation on exactly what our plan is to make this restructure happen. That's big news for us right now. We're hoping to deploy by June's, 1st of June will be our deployment day once we do get things restructured. It's a big process. Helen, I'm going to tell you, my father always said to me that the weather, it always averages out. So if we don't get any snow, it's going to rain all of June and probably half of July and a good portion of May.
We'll take it.
Yeah, I know. And congratulations on your retirement.
Thank you.
You're lucky.
Rain is better than snow because you don't have to move rain after it gets here.
I know. I'll tell you what, though, I live on the lake as well. And boy, when those water levels come up, it gets a little destructive. So I like it to just stay like it should be.
Yes.
Yeah, I am in the same boat, so to speak, as you, Sandra, because my house is only about 8 feet off the water. So.
Yeah.
Um,
Sandra, is Natalie put a question in the chat, wondering if the January 30th meeting is for the public.
It is public meeting. So basically I'm having another TAC meeting. I've added it to my schedule. And so I can send it out to all of you as well. So I'll just copy from
well, if you send it to me, Sandra, I'll shoot it out to everybody. How
okay.
about that?
Yeah, I mean
Okay.
it's gonna be a presentation kind of talking about what our plan is, what we've learned so far, which probably at that point is, you know, not going to be huge, but we'd like to go over our plan and how we're planning on how the process is going to work, and what exactly we're looking at. So we're getting that presentation ready for that day. But it's going to be in Cambridge at the it's 1700 Rum River Drive. I know that.
Yeah, and I've
Conference
got it
room
on my
E.
calendar and that's cut off, so.
Yeah, I'll send it to you, Karen, and you can push that out to everybody. But yes, you know, the more people, the better. We want as much input as we can, and we want to of course be very transparent on what we're doing, because there will be a lot of questions, and you know, knowledge is power. So if people have questions and say, Michelle, they come to you, you know what I mean? And you've been involved. So
Yeah, we want to give people the right answer so they're not making up their own.
yeah, because people get nervous when things change. People don't like change. So so it's good. The more people we can bring into this process, the better. So that's all I have.
Much appreciated, Sandra. Glad to have you on board.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, let's see here. Angela, are you available to give us any kind of update on what's happening with Attaboy? Are you there?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do my best. So the company is doing well. We had lower rides here this fall, and then into the winter here, it's being. I think the impact of the MTM leaving the county there was kind of hard on us because we serve a lot of our area, and then I think South Country Health Alliance no longer contracts there with us either. So looking at increasing the numbers with the other insurance carriers that we already serve and seeing what's going to happen there in more Geneva County area. Other than that, I focus a lot on providing the Amish transportation in our area and serving that community as well, because it's pretty underserved.
Okay, thank you, Angela. Does anybody have any questions for her? Okay, thank you. Anybody here?
Karen?
Oh, go ahead, Jessica. Can't hear you. Wait, you're on mute.
Sorry about that. I was trying to do two things at one time to ask a question. Thank you. Angela, so we have a day treatment program in Princeton, and so our program's been affected by the changes in Kanabec County with the MA contracts and then South Country discontinuing. We're noticing that the clients are getting switched over to Blue Plus. Is that one of the providers that you all are coordinating with? And then is there any chances of you all serving the Princeton area again?
Absolutely. We do the Princeton area because we have a few drivers down in Cambridge still, and we were I wasn't sure what happened if South Country did transfer to somebody else. I haven't heard yet, but if that's across the Shilton, and yes, we can contract with them as well. So that's good to hear. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Yep, great to hear on our end too. Thank you.
This is Helen in Kanabec. I could give you a little bit of update on the South Country thing. So last January, the county board decided to no longer use South Country Health Alliance as its form of managed care for Kanabec County residents. So all year long, we've been working at making this transition. And this last couple of weeks has been really, really tough. People in the community had a hard time understanding what was happening. We've been with South Country for years and years and years, decades. And so it's a huge change. What is happening is folks over, and I wish Kathy was here because she would be more versed on this than I am. What we understand is that folks, seniors are automatically getting put into the blues. If you're under 62, I want to say, then you had your choice of Medica, UCare, or the blues.
Helen, I'm on if you want me to step in and help out explain anything.
Oh, yes, Farah, please do.
Okay. So all of our Blue Plus, all of our EW people will be Blue Plus, and then for the SNVC population, so anybody under the age of 65 will be either UCare or Medica. And so we are just trying to get everybody transferred over. So that was as of the first of the year. I think we have over 300 people we will be transferring to a different health plan. So it's been a little busy around here, to say the least. And so we are just trying to ensure that we have, the contracts with everybody set up, or not, we don't, but UCare, Medica, and Blue Plus all have the contracts set up so that we are able to schedule those rides for our members.
Well, that's wonderful. We contract with them as well. So that's good to hear. Thank you.
Perfect.
Wonderful. This whole thing here, this connections of each other is just great. So if you need to speak with one another off the meeting, you have the contact information in the chat. So thank you all. This is good news, good information. I have a cat yakking over here. Sorry. So if it isn't one thing, it's something else around here. Would anybody else like to give an update on what's happening within your organization before we move on and talk about the Empowering Small Minnesota Communities program? Natalie, Tim?
I can go. We're in January, first of the year, so we're starting another round of state grants. So dementia grant just came out this week. The Live at Home grant should be out very shortly. So, and then the AARP Community Challenge grant just come out. So just a reminder that as Council on Aging or Area Agency on Aging, our development team are here to sit down, talk about it if you're thinking about projects and programs and looking for funding. Especially as it relates to older adults and caregivers. I had a meeting last night at 6 o'clock with a group because they all work during the day. So we're here to help. Can't write the grants, but we can certainly help with that. The other question I do have, actually, because I see Kurt's on and some other, one of our work that we have with our state area plan this year is to do a lot of work around emergency preparedness and working with other groups. So if you have a contact, Kurt, there at the Mille Lacs Band of who works with emergency preparedness, or the best person to start a conversation with, I'm looking for contacts so we can connect our contracts team. So.
Hi, Natalie. I just wanted to okay, yeah, I did unmute. I couldn't tell. So in regards to emergency preparedness, I guess in what aspect, what specifically are you thinking of?
I think we're just starting to kind of grasp it ourselves. It's just we have to make sure that we have a plan and we work with our providers. And part of that is working with the tribal leaders on the emergency preparedness. So you and I maybe put your email. I think I have your email and we can touch base after. So thank you.
Yeah, I'll absolutely. And I see.
Karen, this is Tim. I can give a quick update on kind of my organization and our field. For us, we rely heavily on home and community-based waiver funding and supports for trips and rides. And probably, as everybody knows, as you look at the tails of the state budget forecast, we're looking into deficit area 2 biennium out, significant. And the two top cost accelerators were identified as special education and home and community-based service waivers funding. So we more than likely will be a target for funding, if not stagnation, reductions. And that includes waiver transportation. It's a big concern because we've fought for just the last few years to open up the mechanism and the formulas on how waiver transportation gets funded. But with that, I think it'll come to the forefront. And I know metro counties are starting to drill deeper into cutting back on that with some of the greater Minnesota counties, not any on here because we've got great counties, but some of the others, they never actually got to the level of meeting costs and what they authorize. But long story short, there's no way we're not going to have a challenge around maintaining, and certainly expanding accessible transportation for those with disabilities and others. So more to come, but let your state legislators know not to cut.
Yeah. Thanks, Tim. Would anybody else like to say anything?
Karen, Kurt would give an update.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. I just messaged in there that someone was interested kind of on what updates we have for our transportation system here at Mille Lacs. I would say about maybe about a year and a half ago, we had started looking at transportation a little bit differently. Over the years, we've had a department that's been referred to as transportation, and I guess the way it was developed, it didn't exactly fit what the needs were. It was a little bit more of a federal program geared around spreading information more so than giving rides, and it kind of just turned into a giving ride service. So as time has gone on, we did some different digging to see what sustainable plans and programs there are that exist. So along with that, it's kind of been a multi-step process. We also happen to have reviewed our medical record and found that how that was operating didn't quite fit for us either. So there's obviously some opportunities within the medical world to be able to provide transportation for key demographics, usually depending on their need and so on and so forth. And the state of Minnesota has been kind enough to develop a non-emergency medical transporter program and had started putting some things in there in regards to tribes specifically. So now we were attempting to figure out how to credential people. I want to say right around the end of August, beginning of September here. And it sounds like the Boise Fort tribe, a little north of us here too, is on a very similar path at the moment. And from what I understand, we just have to iron out the last couple steps for credentialing and around the background check the state does to create NEMTs, that their requirements and ours are just slightly different, even though they align. We use different wording, so we're just kind of waiting to see how that lands, if that makes any sense. And in the meantime, still providing the transportation to dialysis and primary care patients within about a 30-mile radius here.
How, is there any way we can help with anything? Is there, I mean, are there folks on this call right now that would be good connections for you to make to streamline this process a little bit?
Well, I know I did reach out to Melissa here. I'm curious about what kind of contractors they're looking for in that area. I know that is actually something we have specifically landed on also, or vice versa, being able to maybe take staff we have here, sending them towards Aiken and further north, and then using contractors a little further south. That could be a possibility. I think that would probably be the main thing. Any one that's interested in services like that, or yeah.
Michelle, when Tammy Hagan has put together that, what's the name of it? Conifer Travel. And maybe that might be something. Have you heard of that, Kurt?
It does sound familiar.
Well, she's in RTCC, and she is in Headwaters, right? Yeah. My brain went a little south when I saw all these people here today. It may be something that, I could share some information with you, Kurt, and see if that strikes a note, but she was able to put together a whole transportation system for the band where she is, and it could help. I mean, it's and the RTCC was pretty instrumental in helping put that together. And I think that Michelle and I would be really interested in helping you out as well if we could.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll send you an email, Kurt, to try to set something up.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, Rich.
Thank you. Well, we're a little bit off kilter here time-wise, but I'm glad to see, Michael, you're hanging in there. And I wanted to ask you if you would give us a little update on what's happening with the Empowering Small Minnesota Communities program.
Sure. I'll just share the screen. That's a lot of words, but we were successful in completing 6 focus groups in Kanabec and Mille Lacs counties in the fall. The last one was good.
Can I wait? Wait. Can everybody see the screen that he put up?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay.
Okay. So we basically did 6 focus groups. The first group was transit dependent riders in Onamia, and Jessica helped us set that up. And then we had a couple groups early and late. One was in Onamia, and that was and also Mora, and these were adult riders or people who want to ride, but they can't ride because there's not services available. So, we covered, we had 3 groups of riders or people who want to ride. And then we had 2 groups of partners or mixed stakeholders. And some of the people on the call here were at some of those groups. One was in Mora, one was in Malacca. And then we had the transit providers. We had most of the transit providers. Unfortunately, Arrowhead wasn't able to be part of that, but so we had different levels of focus groups, and the goal was to ask them how transportation was working or not working, gather their ideas, and it was a really interesting set of meetings. Frank Dama and I did them, and his graduate student helped me with one of them, but I was at all 6, and Frank was at 5. So we did a lot of listening. We have thousands and thousands of words, and the analysis is going to begin now in the new year. And then on the other side of the project, which is Ali Reza, who's a professor of civil engineering, his team has been doing kind of quantitative analysis. And so this focus group, these conversations with people across the East Central region, should be informative to the quantitative analysis. And then I just want to thank Michelle and Jessica and Karen for helping make all these groups work. And we got some data, and now it's time to get going on it. So that's about the report for this this ESMC project that was sponsored by the state program that connects University of Minnesota people with rural community projects.
It's been really interesting and really excited to hear the outcome of all of what all of what you put together.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And people were connecting, just like on this call, people were connecting and exchanging ideas in these focus groups. And so you just kind of get to listen in on the conversation, and hopefully learn something, but they actually kind of enjoy connecting with other people who have similar concerns and, sometimes resources.
Do you have all the data? Do you have all of the information now? Do you feel that you're done with your focus group meetings?
I think so. I mean, the thing is, we didn't, Kurt was just on, we didn't have any band members from Mille Lacs, but we had 4 individuals in Anemia, which is, obviously right in the doorstep of the Mille Lacs band. So, that there, there's no perfect set of focus group data, but that's, if there is a concern with getting a group of people in the Mille Lacs band area, I think Frank and I would be willing to do that, but so far we weren't able to make the connection. But otherwise, I think we had a pretty good smattering of a lot of people give us a lot of good information.
Good. Awesome. Anybody else have any comments for Michael or questions? So we'll be wrapping that up probably. This will go until summer, you think?
Yeah, I think the goal is to get a report back out, by May or so. Come out and do community meetings in both counties or something like that.
Sounds good. Thank you. Good news.
Well,
I have a quick question for everybody right now while you're all here. Sorry, dog wants to ask a question too. Eva, no. Does anybody here have a contact for groom? Groom transportation. Okay. All right. Well,
Sorry,
I'm looking
Karen,
for.
I know you emailed and asked me. Sorry. I forgot you emailed me. I'll look at
Oh, Beverly,
top
that
of my
would be.
head though.
Thank you. If you think of it, maybe I'll shoot you an email, remind you again.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Karen, this is Rhonda. I can get you one. Our lead driver used to work there, so.
Oh, awesome.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's probably a more direct contact than what I'd
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, in fact, they're housing a couple of our buses through our construction of our Way Park facility, so I will get you that today.
Nice. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I kind of want to get updated on what they've got going on over there.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're wrapping up today. I'm going to give you some time back, but I just wanted to share with you kind of my vision. And I'm kind of hoping, oh, Kurt just left. Okay. Bye, Kurt. I was kind of hoping, I'm hoping for these things to happen in the next year or is to at least get rolling. And this is our public transit transfer locations. Of course, this is something that Michelle and I worked really hard with the ILT Academy. And so this is an opportunity for each of the transit services in the region to have these transit transfer. I gotta come up with another way of saying this, a transfer locations. And then the other thought is to have a service that would go all the way, one service that would go all the way across our region, east to west. And, Jefferson lines is a possibility. I was thinking Groom would be a possibility. And I know the duplication of services is kind of a scary or bad thing, but my point is that I'd like to see there be service from, say, 35, Hinckley, whatever, that area, across 23, which is a great corridor, all the way to St. Cloud, with stops along the way, which would be our transit hubs. And they would be, Brook Park and Mora and Ogilvie and Bach, I don't know about Bach. We always wonder about, and Malacca and Foley and all the way along the line. Just makes so much sense. And I'm not sure why it hasn't been done yet. And I don't know why the transfer systems, transfer hubs haven't been put in place yet. I don't know what's changed in our region that this is now a topic. And I don't know if it's just me or what it is, but I really see that this is a necessary thing. So I want to search out people who can see this vision with me and initiate others who want to be involved. I want to develop this plan, discuss the connecting transportation, find funding sources, and figure out how we can sustain this. So this is kind of my, I'm 60, coming on 66 here in February. I mean, and I want to have a legacy here. So I want you all to work with me on this, and let's do this. Let's get something done this year and between this year and next year. And I want to leave us in a better place than we are currently. And we're doing good things. We really are. So I really appreciate you all. And thank you. Well, our next meeting will be March 13th. Again, 9 a.m. via Zoom. I'll send you information as we get closer. And happy trails, safe travels. Thank you very, very much.